Go
Good
ahead.
evening, everyone. We are delighted beyond description, capital D, delighted to have you all here tonight. Thank you so much for taking time out. We're gonna go fast. So put your seatbelts on. We don't want to take lots of time away from your families, but we want to give you valuable information. And thank you to Brenda Carlton for bringing me tonight. She is, I know you all just adore her, and if anyone is new on the call, fall in love. I see a person there from Tulsa. You're gonna fall in love with this girl. So and Brenda and Larry called into my heart when I found out that they were from Texas. Well, I lived there, and then I found out that she loves nutrition. So she got 2 stars, and then I met Larry, and it's 5-star package. It's just like once you meet Larry, it's a done deal. You just people. The reason I'm on this call tonight is my love for nutrition happened 19 years ago. My son was 5. He was very, very, very ill. I was living in the hill country, and I started looking into nutrition to help him. And that's where I started. Prior to that, I grew up on a farm, on a big ranch. Everything in the farming world is science. So I caught it by osmosis. And the rest of my life, I've just valued nutrition. And I cannot believe that people take things every day and they don't get results. That to me just doesn't make sense. So you're in the right place to find out about the most quality products I've seen. Okay? So welcome. And then I'm going to ask Brenda to share where she found her love for nutrition.
Thank you, Anna. Well, before we get started, what we're about to share, I want to go ahead and make my disclaimer. We are not here to profess to treat, diagnose, or cure anything. We are simply here to have a little chat, a little coffee talk. And I love nutrition and want to share a little bit about what I have learned with you. We talked a little bit about before we started the recording, and you heard me say that this was birthed out of me just trying to think of a way that I could circle back around and help people understand there's more behind those drops. And so, like I said earlier, also is we all would like to see our subscriptions go higher. And, you know, a dream would be to wake up on Saturday morning and have 13,334 sitting there. That would be so sweet. But how are we going to do that? Well, unless we know about the products, and I don't mean all that I know or Dr. Strand knows, or that we don't have to do that, but just enough to share and get a person started on the products. You know, I believe that we have to have enough information to do a product fit to help a person reach their goal. And so I'm a big believer in foundations. And so we're going to talk about that. So, Anna, you're up.
My big question is, how did you come into this industry? You're so knowledgeable. And why are you so passionate about it?
Anna, before we go a little bit further, your voice is not coming clear. Can y'all hear her very well? Is it just me? Yeah, you're not coming in clear. It's kind of muffled.
So should I be on a
That's
microphone or something? Is that better?
That is much better. Right there.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked. What she asked me was, how did I come into this industry and why am I so passionate for supplements? Well, the reason is because 23 years ago, I heard a story. And those of you that know me on the IPA know that I am passionate about you learning how to tell your story. It is the most powerful story you will ever tell. And here's why. 23 years ago, I heard a story about a lady that had not had a migraine in 9 months and had lost 60 pounds. And that got my attention because for 27 years, I had battled migraines and I'd ate dirt. And so I'd given myself shots for 5 years, many trips to the emergency room. I had done all the food logs. I had done everything the doctors told me to do, but no relief. They actually told me, Brenda, we don't know why people have migraines. We only can treat them when you have one. I lived my life around the next migraine. And so I got started on some supplements and I never had another migraine. And so every year on May the 15th, we celebrate. Now I've been 23 years without a migraine, and it changed my life. And so, because I was so intrigued when no doctor could help me, I didn't understand how or why my body had responded to this stuff. And so that drove me with just this amazing hunger to find out more about what happened to my body. And so I went to a conference, much like our PXP, and there's where my journey began. And we began to be trained by amazing doctors. I had never heard of stuff like that. Y'all, I did not know anything about nutrition. We lived on a farm. Mama was a good cook. We had to clean our plates because there were starving kids in China. And she just said we were healthy. And so I didn't know much about that, before I started, in with supplements and in this industry. Water was for bathing or swimming in. We didn't drink it. And so I learned what the importance of feeding my body the right nutrition and how to get that at an optimal level where my body would function at an optimal level.
Interesting. You mentioned something in your nutrition workshop, which we have a link to a recording of that. So if you want to be absolutely treated, there's part 1, part 2 of a nutrition workshop. You'll be blown away. But you mentioned in it that nutrition is like the foundation of a house. And I'm a realtor, so I understand the importance of a really solid foundation. Explain a little bit to me what you consider, why is that so important in terms of our body?
Well, understanding what I did about nutrition and how our bodies work, that's kind of where it started. So, a foundation, let's talk about that for a minute. Every house, building, business is built on a foundation, and our health is no different. And so, our bodies are like a piece of Swiss cheese with holes all in it. Those are our nutritional gaps. And so we need vitamins and minerals to fill in those gaps because it is biochemically impossible to eat all that our bodies need. And on top of that, the soil has been depleted of all the nutrients that we really need. And here's an example. In 1950 or in the 50s, when we ate one apple, today it takes 4 to 5 apples to get that same nutrition. And so we have got to wake up. And so that kind of brings me to what I want to share today. I'm going to make a statement. Please write this down. Total health cannot be bought, bottled, or sold. It takes 4 pillars. Does anybody know what the first pillar is? This is our pillar. Sleep. Second pillar. Exercise. Third pillar. Food. And the fourth pillar is quality supplementation. Now, the reason why this is the golden pillar is because it activates the other 3.
So I wanted to jump in here and just remind everyone about this book. Can you see it? Healthy for Life. My journey with PartnerCo started. This book was on my shelf. Everyone, it was on my shelf for 10 years. Just want you to think on that. And I picked this up, and guess what I read in this book? I found out about one of the 3 things that Dr. Strand talks about is the quality supplementation. And so my very first products a few years ago, the Optimal M and the Optimal V. I am so excited. You have no idea that we are talking about a quality supplementation. So thank you for that. Brenda, I'd love you to elaborate on these two products because that's the basis of my world and where I started with PartnerCo.
Okay. So here's a little puzzle. I hope you can see that. And so there are many things on this puzzle, and this is part of my workshop that I teach. But there's fruits and vegetables, there's meal planning, there's dressings, dips, sauces, there's even alcohol, sugar, fats, eating out, hydration, exercise, whole foods, protein. But the two in the middle are the one that I focus on, and they are carbohydrates and supplements. I teach about macros, and this workshop that I teach is specifically designed to take the confusion out of carbohydrates. And so many times that's our problem. And so, but I just wanted to touch on that for just a minute. Optimal M. I absolutely love our optimals. To me, they are the foundation, and we build on that. So we're going to talk about those tonight. Optimal M has 32 minerals, trace elements, enzymes, and superfoods. It supports our bones, our nerves, and our muscles. Optimal V has 17 different vitamins supporting our heart, eyes, skin, and lungs. And you can go in your back office into your shop section. You can look at all the information and say, why would we need these? It's all there. It just happened to come into alignment with what I've done for 23 years. 23 years I've been a nutritional coach. I absolutely love what I do. I help people get started on products, and then we fit into their daily lifestyle a regimen that works for them. So you might be asking, well, what do vitamins and minerals really do for my body, Brenda? Well, let me show you this. Here's another little part of my workshop. This is our bodies. And remember when I said our bodies are like a piece of Swiss cheese with holes all in it? Well, this represents our bodies. Do you see this piece right here? Oops, right here. It says vitamins and minerals from supplements. What are supplements? They are a supplement to what you should be doing. So when we don't get what we need, here's what happens. The pantry hand goes looking for what we need. Then that gets us in trouble. So without vitamins and minerals, we can feel mentally and physically sluggish. Vitamins and minerals, so they promote whole body health and wellness. Get this, while correcting and preventing nutritional deficiencies that negatively impact our physical and psychological state. PartnerCo has the best formulated products that I know of and believe that are on the market because of the maximum absorption. See, you could be eating vitamins all day, you could be eating all day, but if your body is in that state where nothing's being absorbed, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your product. So that is why I love the optimals. They give me that solid foundation. And I got to tell you a quick story. I started replacing, because I came from another company, and I've been a supplement, my husband hates it when I say this word, a supplement junkie for 23 years, because when I saw what they did for me, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have these. And so I've taken superior vitamins for a very, very long time. 23 years is a long time, y'all. And I'm so regimented, I don't miss. I take them every day. But when I switched over to the optimals, I only bought a month's supply and I ran out. And by the third day, I thought, what is wrong with me? I have no energy. What's happening to me? And I thought, oh my gosh, there is something to PartnerCo's optimals. And so I then bought several months ahead because I will not run out again. Okay, let's talk about Magna-Cal D. I love, love, love this product, y'all. Magna-Cal D is, it's probably my favorite, and here's why. It's got magnesium, calcium, D3, and K2. And so we're going to talk about why those are important. It is, first of all, it's a superior formulation. All vitamins should be standardized and chelated. That means they're formulated with the right minerals to be absorbed. And so calcium, let me just give you a little nugget here. Calcium should never be taken by itself. Calcium has got to be formulated with another something, preferably magnesium. And so even better when we have D3 and K2 with it, because calcium alone cannot be absorbed. And so have you ever known that person that all of a sudden they won't through the most pain they've ever gone through from a kidney stone? Yeah, we've all known people that have had kidney stones. And they say, well, I guess I had too much calcium. No, it was clearly the opposite. If you have calcium in your body that's not being absorbed, your body will throw a stone. So got to make sure that your calcium is formulated correctly. Okay, the D3. Does everybody know how beneficial D3? Everybody on the planet needs D3, and not just to keep us from having rickets. D3 enhances the absorption of calcium from our digestive tract. It's also needed for bone health, immune health, mental health, muscle health, cardiovascular health, metabolic health, glowing skin, and cognitive function. I personally take 10,000 IUs a day of D3 because 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with osteopenia that quickly rolled into osteoporosis. I found a hormone specialist in Austin, Texas, and he told me he could reverse that. Not tomorrow, but he said to give him 2 years. And so I think proof of that is we moved to Colorado Springs 2.5 years ago, and we have a lot of stairs in our house. And I have fallen down my stairs 3 times, and I've not broken anything. And so I'm thinking I'm good. But the average person needs about 4,000 IUs a day. And Magna-Cal D, if you're counting what's right for you, Magna-Cal D has 2,000 IUs. And so you might figure that out. I take a liquid form in addition to my Magna-Cal because my doctor said, Brenda, we don't need you to have any more calcium. You're good there, but we need to balance it out with the liquid D3. All right, let's talk about K2. K2 acts as a transport. It ensures that the absorbed calcium is deposited in our teeth and bones, preventing, catch that, preventing the accumulation in our arteries. That's huge, y'all. When I saw K2 on that label, I was like, oh my goodness, I have scored.
Can I jump in there? Can I jump in there, Brenda? Is there a reason you take it only at bedtime?
Absolutely. I love it. I take 4 Magna-Cal D at bedtime because magnesium helps to calm us down and puts us in a relaxed state. And so I actually mix up my Renew and now my Everglow. That's my nighttime toddy. And I take that with 4 Magna-Cal D.
That's amazing. So calcium is so important. We all talk about that because, you know, calcium equals health of your bones. What would you say to the person that says, I'm drinking enough dairy milk or I'm eating enough leafy green vegetables? What would be, just help us understand that a little bit.
Well, first of all, I'm a believer in after the age of 3, none of us need milk. And so if you've learned anything from Dr. Crystal and Kristen White, we know that dairy, which milk falls under that category, is the #1 hormone disruptor. And if you've ever read the label, milk has sugar in it. And unless you're drinking raw milk, then I say no to milk. You can't drink enough milk. You should not drink enough milk to get what your body needs. There's no way. And the leafy greens, oh my goodness. If you only knew how many leafy greens that would take, and then our bodies cannot digest all of that. So I say no to milk and trying to eat all those greens. I mean, our body has to do something with what we put in our mouth. And so we can overload our body. And there are, I've worked with several vegetarians and vegans, and I'm just going to say that I've never met a healthy vegetarian or vegan because they are trying to eat enough greens and enough vegetables, and our bodies can't digest that. And most of them are carbohydrates. And so that is one of the components of my class that I teach, is about what vegetables are good for us and which ones have a very high glycemic index. We have to pay attention to that. And so I say no, it won't work.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to introduce the next one, which I know you absolutely love. So for people in the PartnerCo world, it starts with V. They always talk about it. It's called Vinali. And so, Brenda, give us the scoop on Vinali.
I absolutely love Vinali. It has done so much for me already. And now when I have combined it with the Everglow, whoa, I'm getting super results. So let's talk about Vinali. I heard about Vinali because I did lose a jean size and 10 pounds when I started on these drops very quickly. And so I have 70-year-old skin. And so it began to sag. And I was like, I love my birthdays, but I just don't want to look like I've had a bunch of them. And so I pulled Dr. Crystal aside one day and I said, what can I do for my arms? It's almost embarrassing. And she said, Vinali. And she instructed me to take 6 Vinali for 3 weeks, cycle off of it, and get back on it again. So that's what I did. So let's talk about Vinali. And I've gotten phenomenal results. Nobody knows your body like you. So pay attention, take your pictures, and pay attention to what's happening to your body. And if you've included Everglow, whoa, you have a super magic products going on there. Okay, so Vinali is grape seed extract and grape skin extract and 310 milligrams of vitamin C. And so here's what Vinali does for us. First of all, it protects against oxidative stress. It supports our skin, our immune system. It fights premature aging. Remember what I said about those birthdays. I love my birthdays. I just don't want to look like I've had a bunch. But it also maintains our DNA integrity. That's huge, y'all. And so it also helps with allergies and asthma. And if you've heard Kristen White's story about her dad, Doyle White, then what has happened for him. He had been an asthmatic since he was 5 years old, and he doesn't take asthma medicine anymore. That's huge. But Dr. Strand talked about the extra benefits of vitamin C. Here's what it does in Vinali. It replenishes vitamin E to be used over and over and over. And so Vinali is effective because it crosses the blood-brain barrier.
Wow.
Huge.
That's huge. So everyone, 2 products to go. And I'm going to jump in here with, I've always believed in detoxing. It's just been a part of my world. I don't know, blame it on my childhood on the ranch. So when people want to get healthy, I always think of detoxing. Dr. Strand, I was listening to one of his recent videos, and he mentioned that he would send his patients off to a detox clinic, and you wouldn't believe the price, $15,000. Well, when I was really sick, you know what? I would have found $15,000 if I'd known that that would have helped me. But thank God I found PartnerCo. It's been a journey getting better, but I just love this product. It's going to be amazing to hear more about it. It's called a detox clinic in a bottle. So tell us more.
Thank you, Anna. I love talking about Restorex because as a coach, so many people come with bad habits. And so we have to clean the body up because toxins hide in our fat cells. And so here's why I love Restorex. It is a detox center. It's really a detox clinic all in that little bottle because it contains zeolite. Does anybody know what zeolite is? Zeolite is something that's formed from in the waters off of the in Australia at the bottom of the volcano, where the volcanic ash meets the water, zeolite is formed. Who knew? But here's what we're going to talk about what it does. So it's got zeolite, it's got spirulina, it's got chlorella, it's got chia seeds, and all of that works synergistically in helping the body remove toxic heavy metals. Heavy metals are concentrated within our body's fat. And so when we begin to lose fat, these heavy metals are released into our body. And so we've got to get those out. So here's how zeolite works. Zeolite, all heavy metals have a positive charge, but zeolite naturally has a negative charge. And so as the zeolite passes through the GI tract, it acts like a magnet and it attracts all the heavy metals. And so as you remove heavy metals from our body, we significantly decrease the number of free radicals that we produce. So the heavy metals also cause our body to be very acidic. And so removing them allows our bodies to become more alkaline. Did y'all know that cancer cannot live in an alkaline environment? That makes it even more important. So we're able to effectively lose weight when our body is in an alkaline state. And so the other benefit is Restorex can help most people break a plateau in their weight loss journey.
Wonderful. Well, everyone, this is our last product. So you'll have to tune in for later episodes from the dear, delightful Brenda Carlton, because in her head is so much information. The last product is something I believe everyone on the planet needs for their gut and their biome. And thank you so much for being with us tonight. We'll have Q&A after this. But Brenda, explain to us a little bit about probiotics.
Probiotics. It's I'm a believer in that because when things begin to manifest here in the form of a cold or flu or whatever it is, it began in our gut. And so understanding about what gut microflora is was huge for me. And so here's some little nuggets about that. Our probiotics has 15 different strands of broad spectrum probiotics and prebiotics. Do you know what prebiotics are? Prebiotics are the food for the probiotics, and they have to work together because the probiotic also feeds off of the prebiotic. And so our gut acts as our body's second brain. And so everything begins in our gut. It supports our immune system, our digestive system. It improves nutritional absorption. That's huge. It helps to manage weight, prevents bloating. Have you ever eaten something and all of a sudden, wow, your stomach just blows up? It improves memory and our mood. When our gut microflora is out of balance, our whole body can feel out of whack. And so I'm a big believer in probiotics. Let me tell you how to take those. You want to take probiotics before you're gonna eat on an empty stomach. And you want to make sure that you give them a good 15-minute head start. Another time to take the probiotics is 2 hours after you've eaten a meal. And then you want to wait for them to get to the right place to where they spring to action. And that would be in the proper place in our gut, in our intestine. And so because of the way our probiotics are formulated, they're designed to get where they need to be. And then they spring open and all those little guys go to work.
How much do you take on a daily basis? Like how much
One.
would you recommend? Just
one.
Just one.
So, unless you've got some things going on. Now, let me give you another little nugget. Anytime you've had a round of antibiotics, you need to when you cycle off of that, you need to do that detox. While you're on antibiotics, you need to superdose your probiotics. And I would say 2 in the morning and 2 at night if you're on antibiotics, because you've got to get that stuff out of your body. Let me tell you something about just prescriptions and drugs and all that stuff. Lord knows we need them, and we have a pharmacist on here. But did you know that an epidural can stay in a mommy's body for up to 13 months? We have to get the medication out of our body. It prevents absorption.
So I have a question. A lot of people think that by eating really quality yogurt will help their microbiome. What is your thoughts?
No yogurt. Yogurt's full of sugar unless you make your own and then go for it. But if you look in the dairy section at your grocery store, there are hundreds upon hundreds of brands of yogurt. Now, why do we eat yogurt? Well, we are told that, oh, they have the good microflora, they have the probiotics. Well, guess what? Most of those guys got destroyed before they ever got to your refrigerator. And here's the other thing. When you eat yogurt, and suppose you eat yogurt because you want those good microflora, that good probiotics, the first thing that our body does when we eat anything is it begins to produce digestive enzymes. Do you know what that is? It's called acid. And all those guys just got destroyed before they ever got started. So yogurt is nothing but sugar. And if you can find a good Greek yogurt that is 4 or less grams of carbohydrates, go for it. I personally don't know why you would even eat yogurt. And I love that. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money and a lot of waste. And I see people eating yogurt all the time, and I'm thinking, why are you doing that? And especially if it has that word vanilla on it. So I challenge you to go to the grocery store next time you go, turn that little puppy around on the back of it and read that label and look at how many carbohydrates. Little bitty, I use this as a teaching tool in my workshop, and that little bitty jar of Yoplait yogurt that has vanilla on it has 44 grams of carbohydrates. It's pure sugar. Does that answer your question, Anna?
It does. And, so I was introduced to the Optimal M and Optimal V. Why I love these, everyone, is I cannot stand swallowing tablets, and they are small. So thank you, the scientists, and they don't taste bad. So I'm so grateful to having those every day. I'd love us to open up for questions. Does everybody, I don't know, I guess everyone's muted. We haven't really discussed the drops. That's something that I'm on. I'm on a 3-month challenge. And it's helping me balance my hormones. I don't have cravings, which is the first time. If I eat carbs, I have cravings out the wazoo. I don't know what's in these, but it's helping me with my cravings. I definitely have a brighter mood. I'm far more alert. I don't think I've ever really had brain fog, but I just have, when it comes to words and working on accounting and things like that, my brain's functioning beautifully. So I'm grateful for that. I'm sleeping. So if anyone, please share with people that, because I went for about 8 years with very poor sleep. and I literally lost my happiness. So I'm delighted to be back in the world of happy people. And I know that by Christmas time, hopefully I'll be looking a little bit different. I'm really determined, and I'm walking around. This was my biggest change. A water bottle, believe it or not, water. So I'm excited. Is there anything you want to share about the drops?
Does 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 everybody know how to talk about the drops in just a wee little bit, to just give somebody just a quick cliff note version of what they do? Does everybody know how to say that?
Give it to us fast, because you're good.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, give it to us.
I just had a call, y'all, that Facebook thing and that system of growth, it still works every day. I just got 2 calls this morning that said, tell me about those drops. Okay, I need to know. And it was so fun. So here's what I tell people. The drops are 11 there are 11 homeopathic ingredients in bottle 1. Bottle 2 is 8 herbs and adaptogens. They work together, they're not the same. So what bottle 1 does, we call that our liquid discipline. Bottle 2 is our happy bottle. The drops are going to support our endocrine system, our thyroid, our cognitive ability. Lord knows we all need that. Bottle 2 with the methylcobalamin, that means the methylated form of B12, the absorbable kind. It has ashwagandha, rhodiola, rose hips. And so what those ingredients are going to do is remove inflammation from our body. And then they shut down the overproduction of cortisol. Cortisol is our body's defense mechanism when stress, anxiety, and depression comes against it. But it doesn't stop there. Cortisol is what makes us hold on to belly fat. And it can be that excitement of a new grandbaby, or it can be that depressed, dark place that can produce cortisol. But it doesn't stop there. Cortisol rolls into the next phase called insulin resistant. That's the next thing that happens. Insulin resistant is a state where it means our body no longer can burn fat. And so insulin resistance of the brain has just been diagnosed as type 3 diabetes, which leads to Alzheimer's and dementia. Dr. Strand said by the time we get to the doctor and we get diagnosed as having insulin resistance, there are 4 things in place, in addition to hardening of the arteries setting in. But there's high cholesterol, high blood pressure, increased triglycerides, and heart disease. We have something so powerful that can help reverse that. It can shut that down. And everybody, I know I need people to understand what these drops can do for them.
Thank you. Precious. Do we have time for Q&A?
I do. Do y'all? If you've got
anyone
a question,
wants to jump off, you're so welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a delight to hear this information. And I know what products I'm adding. It's in the mail, so I'm very excited about getting my Restorix.
please feel free to hit the react button at the bottom, raise your hand so that we can call on you. I'm going to put out a challenge before everybody hangs up. If you have not taken Optimals, I'm going to challenge you to get a month supply of Optimal M and Optimal V, Magna Cal D, and start there. And do that for 1 month and then stop and then tell me if you don't feel a difference. That's your challenge. Okay, Miss Karen, you got your hand up, hon. You want to unmute? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You said your night toddy is for Magna Cal D, and did you say the Everglow or Renew?
I mix Everglow and Renew.
Okay.
And when you listen to Jen Reed, the formulator of that product, that's how she takes hers.
Okay.
And
Thank
I mix
you.
it in 4 ounces of water. and that's all I drink and go to bed. While we're on that renewed thing, I learned something very valuable last year at PXP. I started with these products in April, the end of April last year, and Tammy shared with me Renew. And so I took it like I'm a very regimented person. I took it like, the box said. And I was in Bible college and I did a lesson at night. Well, I began to stay awake long hours. And I'm thinking, what is going on? I'm not gonna, that's the only thing I've changed because I don't have trouble sleeping. So I stopped taking it at night and heard different comments about some people it keeps up and some people, they have to take theirs during the day. So I started taking it during the day. And then I went to PXP and Dr. Strand spoke about Renew. And he said, take it before you go to sleep because blue light activates Renew. And I was like, oh, that's what's been happening. So at night, before I lay my head on the pillow and close my eyes, that is when I get up. It's in my bathroom. I mix it up and I go to bed and go to sleep. And oh my goodness, y'all, I don't ever wake up during the night, ever, ever, ever. It's incredible, but you got to take it right. Okay, Miss Ann, you have your hand up.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So I want to say that for the past 35 years, been taking really good quality food supplements that have been researched and there's clinical trials and so on. But in November, my friend Kimberly introduced me to PartnerCo and I switched. And I have to say that these are definitely a much higher quality that I've been taking for the past 35 years. I thought what I was taking was pretty good, but this is way better.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sorry, I think I think I have only 2% memory left on my tablet here, but I don't know if you can still hear me. But I recommend these products to everybody. I think everyone should be on all of them. I take, like you say, I take the 4 Magna-Cal D every night with my Renew, and I take the Noni and the Limu and everything. I mean, we all need everything at our age, right? So thank you for your presentation tonight. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for listening. Yes, we do. We are all about anti-aging, we're going to have long life. That is my declaration. Thank you so much for just confirming what I just said. Okay, Mr. Jerry.
Just wanted to say again, thank you for the presentation. It was really good. And the optimals that we were talking about, and I put the blog thing in their chat. If anybody wants to look at the chat, you can scroll up and get it. But when I started taking that, because I've been doing it for 3 years, but me and Allison, we were just taking half. We were doing the morning dose, but we weren't doing the night dose because it says twice a day.
Twice a day.
So and then I said, well, I'm going to try it twice a day. And absolutely, when I started doing it twice a day, I could so totally feel the difference. And it made a big impression on me. And I just wanted to share that with everybody. I mean, the prescription there, or the directions are there for a reason. And to go with what Ann said, one of my first meetings that I had with Dr. Strand, we were at, I don't know, Destin, I think, or whatever. And I was talking to him and I said, my family's been into this for a long time. My dad's always been big into supplements. These supplements are different. These actually do things. I believe that those others help or whatever, and they were good for me, but these actually do things. What's the difference here? And he told me that it was the quality of the supplement and at clinical dosing was their things is not an RDA of 100% RDA or whatever. I mean, they're optimal levels. They're at that thing. And that's how the MOA does what it does. That's how the optimals do it. The MagnaCal does what it does. So I just wanted to throw that out there that that's what Dr. Strand said. And it was phenomenal for me to see all that and to talk to him and understand really where we are. And I'm just pleased that I take I got a whole box full over here. And even when I travel, I have a travel box. I take my travel box wherever I go. So
Wow.
thank
Gary,
y'all.
I do too. Thank you so much for another layer of confirmation, y'all. I mean, it does make a difference, and these are different. And Jerry, myself, they're different. We've taken quality supplements before, but these are different. And so, praise God, we have Dr. Strand and now Dr. Plant, and we have people like, Dr. Crystal and Kristen Doyle White. I mean, oh my goodness, we are so excited to have people like that. And then not to mention our Barbara Cox Lovesy, and all the people that bring all that knowledge and information to us so that we can have long life and enjoy quality life. Anybody else got any questions?
I do.
I wanted to just jump in
Nancy?
here before
Oh, I'm sorry, Ann.
carry on,
I'm not going to
Nancy.
show my face because I worked outside today and I haven't yet. But anyway, my question is I just read the other night about the new Everglow and I haven't gotten mine yet. But that it should be by itself and only 6 ounces of room temperature water. But yet you mix in Renew. And so I do my Renew separate, but so is it
Okay.
okay to mix those?
There is a lot of controversy out there and everybody has their opinion, but I listened to the training from Jen Reed just yesterday. And when she started taking her Everglow, she mixes it with Renew.
Okay.
When do you take Renew? At night.
Yes.
Do you know why we take Renew at night? Because Renew helps our body get into that deep realm sleep where it repairs all the damage that we've done to it during the day. And so it's that cycle that the Renew is most beneficial. There's good, better, best. Most beneficial at night. I was taking it during the day, but Dr. Strand said the most benefit is during the deep realm sleep. Well, that's a no-brainer. So I take mine at night, but I just had to learn to take it and not stay up.
Mm-hmm.
And so, a couple of days ago on the IPA, Nancy, there was a couple of people that started talking about that. But I have to go back to the formulator. And if she takes it like that and she's gotten results, and then to me, it was like, okay, so I mix multiple things together. I mix Elite with Max 2O. I've mixed Elite with Renew when I drank it during the day. I've mixed Max 2O with what is our other product? Everglow. It all tastes great. I've bumped up my Everglow. When I initially heard about Everglow and they told us about it at the officers' luncheon in Ohio, that's when we all signed an NDA. Dr. Plant talked about it, as well as Jen Reed. They gave us all the background, all the science behind that product. And they initially said it does no good to take more servings. Well, guess what? Jen Reed, formulator, just said in that recording, and if you haven't listened to it, go to your PartnerCo Facebook page and listen to that recording. She said, you can take Everglow 3 times a day, and she challenged us to do it for 3 months. Now, she said, if you've been taking a collagen, which I have for a very long time, she said, you might only do it twice a day. So I switched at the beginning of this week, and I take 1 serving at night with my Renew before I go to bed in 4 ounces of water. I don't want to drink a bunch of water and then go to bed because I don't want to have to get up during the night. You know what I'm talking about? And so now in the morning, when I finish putting my makeup on, I got my Everglow sitting right there, and I'll go ahead and mix me up another serving before I come down to my office. So that's how I'm taking mine. And I'm going to do that for 3 months. And then I'm going to go back to the normal 1 time a day serving. But you can put it in as much water as you want. Here's the deal about water. Most people don't drink enough water. And so every medical person and person in this industry, fitness industry, hammers water. You need half of your body weight in ounces of water throughout the day. But so many people complain about drinking water. I don't like to drink water. Water doesn't taste good. We'll put something in it. So if you put that Everglow in 16 ounces of water or 8 ounces or whatever, and you put that Max 2O in 16 ounces of water or whatever you want to put it in, you're going to get more water. So it's just one more way to help people get water in that hopefully they'll like it. I hope that
I
makes
appreciate
sense.
this because I think I mean, we read the bottles, but we really still don't know exactly how to take them all or what you can take together. We do Renew, Finale, the Optimals, both, BioQ, MagnaCal D.
I take them
almost
all too,
everything.
girl.
And so it's like, combine it all, chug it down or not, or,
It is better. Remember, we're talking good, better, best. It is better to separate your doses. Like take 3 of your vitamin, whichever one of them is 3 and one of them's 2. So take half of them in the morning and then take the others like, sometime after lunch or dinner. So if you spread them out in divided doses, our body is more apt to absorb things better. But that would be the only reason. I take 10 at a time. I take my Omega, my Optimal V, my Optimal M, and I take 3 Finale when I eat my dinner. So I take all those at the same time. I take 4 MagnaCal D before I go to bed. So, yeah, I'm a supplement junkie, but I'm always mindful not to pass on my belief on somebody else, because you have to do what's right for you. And so that's why I will tell people, I'll challenge people, cycle on something for a month and then cycle off of that and do something else and see what works best for you. See if you can feel the benefit, because here's the question: how much is enough? You got to figure that out. You can't take everything, although my refrigerator has Limu, Moa, and Noni, and I rotate all of those. I hope that helps. So we chose to just talk about these 4 really, and then we wanted to throw in the Restorex and the probiotics because that's kind of foundational. So we will be talking about Moa, Noni, and Renew. We're going to talk about Rejuvenex. We're going to talk about the BioPro Q. We're going to talk about the Omega Q. That's a huge product. I'm a believer in omegas. Omegas overturn stale fat. In coaching pregnant and nursing mommies, they need 6 to 10 omegas a day because that's what develops the baby's central nervous system and brain. Omegas are good for every cell in our body. And so omegas are one of those foundational things for me too. We just didn't talk about that tonight. We have to do the business because we have to afford all the products that we want to take. Right, Jerry? Okay, Lorraine, you've got your hand up.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please repeat. I know you said Renew and Everglow. What was the third one that you take at night?
MagnaCal D. I take 4
Okay.
MagnaCal D. And remember, the MagnaCal D, we take it at night because magnesium First of all, it's going to make our digestive tract work also. I don't know if y'all know about magnesium. That's one of the little side benefits about magnesium. That'll get your bowels going. But magnesium puts us in a calm state, a relaxed state, so we can go to sleep.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else? I have to apologize to you, Anna.
About what?
You created all these beautiful slides.
It's
and
okay. Everyone
they're
will have to come back to see my hard work. So that's
They're-
wonderful. We'll do this
they're-
again, but I think we might have to have wine the next time.
I know they're sitting behind all these beautiful faces, and I'm looking down going, oh no. See, I told y'all I was technically challenged.
No worries. Girlie, what's in your head is of far more greater importance than seeing slides. We can all
We
go and
had-
look, we can all go and get our little digital flip thing and we flip through them. So we don't need pictures.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions? I just can't say thank you enough for just giving me a platform, Anna, to just share the things that I so passionately love and desire to help so many people with.
Thank you for your time. It's been magnificent.